Greetings everyone. My name is Thami, akaMbongo, born in Mbekweni, Paarl in Cape Town, in the Western Cape. I'm a professional actor by profession, graduated at UCT 2001. Ever since that, I've been an actor doing a lot of theater, some television and film. Also my passion is in terms of development, you know. I've always been passionate about community development and youth development, which also provided me an opportunity to be artistic director of one of the Baxter Theatre Center program, which is called Zabalaza Theatre Festival. So I was the artistic director from 2010 to 2017, so for 7 years, which I'm very proud of that achievement, and I'm proud to see the program growing. Another thing that I'm very passionate about is around policies, you know, because a lot of artists are passionate in terms of performing instead of understanding how the industry work. And there are a lot of people that have really inspired me in my life, and I will always be grateful for that. Yeah, so in a nutshell, yeah, professional actor, I write, I direct, sometimes I also produce, and I'm a facilitator, also teach. Yeah, if I can say, yeah, that's me. Thanks. The background of this project, you know, as I always said in my introduction, a lot of artists are more interested in terms of performing, and we've got so many programs across the country, you understand, script writing workshop, directing workshop, acting workshop, you understand, but we've got very few workshop that focuses on policies and governance, you understand, to understand. You know, I'm very inspired by people like Ismail Muhammad, you understand, when it comes to the issues of policies, people like Mike van Graan, Paul Molepo, we understand, those are the people that are really engaging. And when I was sitting down, I was like, Ogoti, there are very few people in the country, you can count them, people who are passionate about policies and governance, and people who can engage on those things. So I said, instead of us all doing like workshops in terms of performance skills, how about we do a workshop that will unpack some of the policies, you know. So I compiled a sort of like a book with the assistance of a lot of people that I respect in the industry, including Abu Baba Ismail Muhammad, where I wrote, I remember the first time it was called the Creative Passport, Your Guide to Cultural Institution Act. We understand it's about 155 pages. We understand that looks at different sections, like I know section A, focus on legislative structures and system. You look at the Cultural Institution Act. What is it? You understand? When people are talking about Cultural Institution Act, you understand, artists need to understand what is it that they are talking about. You understand, the Minister of Arts and Culture, there's been a lot of complaints where people are saying we need a minister that is coming from the arts. But the question is, how many artists know what is the role and responsibility? How does the minister get appointed? What is the role and responsibility? You understand? So in that section, we focus on that. And then there's also a section of the Parliament Portfolio Committee for Sport, Arts and Culture. You understand? How many artists know when they are not happy with the minister or the department, they can engage the Portfolio Committee in Parliament. You understand? You can write as an individual. So in that section, we focus on what is the role and responsibility of a portfolio committee for arts and culture. And then we've got a section that looks at the National Department of Sport, Arts and Culture. What is the mandate? Why are they there? You understand what artists need to understand about the national department, and we also cover the provincial MECs. We understand that focus on sport, arts and culture, what is their role, so that people in the provinces can have a better understanding of what is the mandate and the role and responsibility of their MECs, especially in sport, arts and culture. And then the last part, we focus on the provincial department. Why are they there? What is their role? What is their duty? So that as artists in each and every province, we understand, what is the role of our provincial government. So that covers the section A, which talks about legislative structures and system. And then in section B, we focus on funding. We understand funding and compliance. The first chapter is looking at the Public Finance Management Act. We understand. I know government people, you understand that they know when they're talking about, and people who know policies and governance, they know. But how many people, especially on the grassroots level, who understand what is it that they're talking about when they talk about the Public Finance Management Act? And how to make sure those in power, we understand, are responsible. And then the second part of our chapter looks at the National Arts Council. You understand, as we know, the National Arts Council is governed by the National Arts Council Act. You understand? So in this book, you've got that act. You understand? And then it explains what are the responsibility of the National Arts Council. And also we look at the National Film and Video Foundation, VFA, all the time can visual camera live tricky, but the National Film and Video Foundation, what is their role, what is their responsibility, so that those people, especially in the grassroots level, who works in the film industry, we understand that they understand what is there. Because sometimes, understand, you've got artists that want to do project, they apply to National Arts Council instead of applying to National Film Video Foundation, or vice versa. You understand? So we are unpacking what is their role and responsibility. And then we also look at the business arts of South Africa, IPASA. We understand. I know not a lot of people understand PASA. When you get a funding, you understand that they can assist you. So we unpack what is that role. You understand? Sometimes I feel as an artist, you understand, we depend too much on government, and we are not focusing too much on the business side. I like what is happening with Africans Festival. Like, for example, if you look at their funders, you understand, mainly businesses, you understand, a private sector, we understand. But most of us, especially in the Black Township, we tend to rely too much on government, we understand. So that's why we added that chapter. And then another chapter that is there under funding is Mzansi Golden Economy Fund. You understand? We unpack what is the mission, what was the vision, we understand, of Mzansi Golden Economy, so that people know about it. And then we look at Deputy Fund, we look at Artist Relief Fund, we look at the Provincial Arts Council funding. You understand, which covers our section B for funding. And then in section C, we focus on performing arts agencies. You understand, as you know, they are a state-funded institution. Like, for example, in the book, we focus on 5. One, we focus on South African State Theatre, which is in Pretoria, Gauteng. And then we focus at Artscape, which is in Cape Town, Western Cape. We focus at Pekhoffs, Bloemfontein, Free State. We focus at the Playhouse at Durban, KZN. And then we also focus at the Market Theatre, which is in Joburg, Gauteng. Like sometimes I feel, especially artists in the grassroots level, you understand, they don't really understand what is the mandate of the state institution. We understand the reason why we added the Cultural Institution Act, so that people understand. Sometimes we complain about these houses are not producing a lot of work. You understand? But how many artists know what is their real mandate? Is their mandate to produce, or their receiving house. Yeah, so we want to unpack that section so that when we as artists, you understand, we want to make this institution to be accountable, we really understand what is their mandate. And then in section D, we focus on revised white paper on arts and culture and heritage. But our focus, we focus on 3 parts. We focus on policy proposal for music, policy proposal for theater, policy proposal for dance. We understand what is there, because we know we've been talking about the revised white paper for many years, but it has been adopted by the parliament, and the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture is responsible to make sure you understand it is implemented. So it is high time artists, especially on the grassroots level, to understand what is there, what needs to be done, what are the proposal, you understand, so that we understand. And then the last section, which is section E, focus on organizations and movement, because there are a lot of organization and movement, but I feel we don't really understand what is their intention or role and responsibility. In this booklet, we focus on South African Guild of Actors, SACA, which I think is doing really amazing work for actors. So we are unpacking what is it that SACA is doing. And then there's also Theatre Benevolent Fund, TBF, which has been supportive, you understand, to its members, especially during difficult times. We understand. So we look at what is it that they are doing, and then we look at Creative Workers Union of South Africa. The reason why I added this chapter, because in South Africa we used to have a union for artists. In these days we talk about what the artists need their own union. So in that chapter we unpack KUSA, you understand, so that we understand, so that the next generation really understand what there are people who tried to create these unions, so that when we as the new generation want to create new unions, we understand what is it that has made the first one to fail, so that when we create our own, you understand, we learn from the past. And then we cover also for the Arts, which is was created by Mbongo Ngoma, my president, because it's one of the biggest movement, especially, you understand, looking at kwela xesha difficult ngalo COVID-19 nendoni, you understand, and it's a big platform for artists to express themselves, so we cover that. We also cover South African Music Industry Council, which is SAMIC. You understand. There was a vision when structures like SIFSA were formed, of creating a different council. Music council, dance council, theater council, arts administrator council, which I think, you understand, it's a brilliant idea, you understand, to get the sector organized, you understand. So we look at SAMIC and see what is their role. And then there's another organization that we are looking at. It's South African Arts and Culture Youth Forum, SACAIF, who is doing amazing work, especially for the youth of the country in the 9 provinces. So we look at their work and cover that. And then lastly, we look at Trade Union for Musicians of South Africa, which is TUMSA. You understand? So as I said, the program covers those 5 sections. You understand? And I decided to go to, okay, we need to do it in such a way. We've got a workshop program that we invite between 20 to 30 participants, not too much, you understand, and these participants must be the leaders of community art structures or people who are really interested in policy, you understand. This thing of doing workshops and then we invite 50 or 100 people, I don't think personally it's making a real impact. You understand? So we have identified like organizations, you have some leaders of the organization who for a period of the project, we can monitor their work You understand? We can advise, we can follow their progress on how much impact the program has done for them. And also we've got an online program that we will unpack all these chapters. You understand? I have interviews, have one-on-one sessions, and try to unpack. So like for example in January, I think it's that 16 January, we will have like episodes that are focusing solely on a particular subject. You understand, which we will do as our online program. Yeah, I think so far, yeah, that's what I can say about the program. About the National Arts Council funding through PESP. As we know, Uguti, the National Arts Council has made a call out, you understand, to individuals and organizations to apply for PESP 3. You understand. I've applied previously to National Arts Council PESP 1. You understand, I did a project. I was disappointed because I applied for a certain amount and it was cut, just like the rest of the artists. But we managed to do a festival, and when they did this call, I decided to go to, instead of doing festival or the obvious things, let me apply to do this particular project. And I applied, and we got the funding, which I was very excited about to do the program, and I'm grateful to the National Arts Council. I'm grateful to the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. I'm grateful to the presidency for this kind of funding, because I feel that these projects are really needed, and we're hoping we're going to make a huge impact in terms of the program. And then in terms of targeted provinces, when I applied for this project, I wanted to do it in 9 provinces, right, in South Africa, but because of the budget was cut, and we ended up doing 3 provinces. You understand? And selecting the 3 provinces, we wanted to provinces that we feel they really need assistance. When you look at provinces like Mpumalanga, Limpopo, Northern Cape, you understand, we wanted to also go to Northwest, but because of the response, we decided to stick to the 3, which is Mpumalanga, Limpopo, and Northern Cape. What to expect in terms of the program? This particular program is divided into 2 phases, right? First phase, it's a workshop program, and then the second phase is the online program, whereby we're going to use a professional production company that will film these interviews, you understand, and we unpack some of these issues, and obviously making sure that you are doing a follow-up with the participants who participated in phase 1. What are the future plans for the project? I've got big plans. You understand? One, I would love to publish this booklet so that it's available to artists. Now it's only going to be available to those who are attending the workshop. You understand? We've compiled a booklet that we will give to each and every participant, but my aim is to publish it professionally so that the artists can get access to such a document. And I'm sure after this PESP 3 NAC, I'm going to apply to the national department. I want to incorporate the provincial government to come on board, and also businesses, you understand, so that we really unpack these things. You understand? Let's go to simplicity. Let's make it simple so that artists on the grassroots level know about these things. You understand? And I feel that's how we are going to make impact. We develop so many performers than developing arts administrators, people who are also passionate about policies. And I'm hoping some of the future plan, you understand, will be to take this program to 9 provinces. Yeah, you understand, and maybe probably develop a TV show that will be focusing on some of these things. Yeah, that will be my future plan. But I'm very excited and I'm very happy about the possibility of the future. Thank you very much.